Then I also just want to demo quickly that if you do have a problem in here, sometimes it either won't let you save. In that case, it did, but then it should give me a problem here about activating. Yeah. So it says review this issue. You have one warning. The full name formula is invalid. So as long as you're paying attention to these warnings, and if it says it prevents activation, that means your flow is no good. It's not going to work at all. So you can even click that to bring it up, add your ampersand back in, and then you should be able to save. And then one more quick thing I like to do here, I like to take it out of auto layout, and then you can actually play around with the spacing of any of these if you really wanted to. But why I'm doing this is because a lot of times with these kind of flows, I would add an extra screen here, and it's not necessarily in order of all the rest, which is why I put it into freeform mode. I'd have an errors screen. So if they put way too long of a subject or a description and there was an error creating the case, we don't want to just give them some fault message. We want to show them a screen that says, we've had problems processing your request and we'll reach out shortly or something. So I'm going to go ahead and call this errors. And then we're going to do one more display text, call this error text. And then I'm going to go down here, and in flow, there's actually what's called a fault message. So if anything wrong happens, it's going to be able to show them kind of in plain English what happened. And you could put something like, okay, so that looks good. And then we can connect that to anything that would potentially have an error. So like a screen per se wouldn't really have an error, but any of these operations. So if I have an issue getting the contact match, like I don't have access to the fields or just something goes haywire, I want to send it to this error screen. So that if it errors out or faults out, they'll be able to get a decent message. So same with creating a case, right? There might be some issue there. Maybe high is changed to urgent priority in the system. And then when the customer fills this out, errors happen to them. They would at least know why when they are moved over to this error screen. And then same for our last one here is over to errors. So any issues, we're going over to errors. It can make things a little bit cluttered, but it's just a safe way to kind of set people up to not just be stranded in, especially if this is a contact form. A lot of the work we do is billboards or other advertisements where then they go to the contact form, fill it out. If there's hundreds of people going and not getting to a successful page, it's kind of a nightmare. So I can click save one more time and make sure that all is good, no warnings, no errors. So I've activated it. And at this point, my flow is pretty much good to go. And you can invoke flow from a lot of different places. I'm just gonna throw it on a contact record here. You could throw it on the home page, really wherever you wanted to. And then one of the options here is flow. So this Lightning page editor here is what's used to update all of Salesforce's like experience sites or pages, whatever really. So still loading here. And then I can put it really wherever. I'm going to just put it at the top of here for now. And we can actually make sure it's a 2-column layout so that our 2 columns in our sections will be respected. You could even make it only appear for certain cases. That's what the set component visibility does. So like this one doesn't have an account. I could say that I don't want this to appear if there is no account on the contact, right? Because they're maybe not a strong contact. They're just kind of an associate, not really a customer. I could hide it for certain cases, but I'm just going to go ahead and save it. We'll demo it. So my page loads, and then that flow should probably load last. Yep, you can see it here with the blue dots. It comes up with a contact support form. We've already fully tested it, so just kind of wanted to give you that overview. So sometimes if we're going to put it on a record page like this and we don't really fully want to start filling this out every time we go to the contact, there's one more last piece I'll show you that we do to the flow is create kind of a click here to get started screen. So right now our first screen is fill out all this info. Maybe they're not ready for that. The last piece I'll show you here is that you want to add a click next screen. That just depends on how you want to invoke this flow or where it's displayed. So if this was on a customer website landing page, we would want to just open up that first name, last name, email form so they could just fill it out without clicking anything. But in this case, we're internal in Salesforce and we might only want to send it certain times. So say like that, click next to create a case. So then our screen flow will start there. Now our order's a little bit messed up. We could kind of move some stuff around, make room. Maybe like that, looks good. Kind of still get the idea. Start here. Once you click next, then you're asked for more info. So just one extra step if it's going to be used internally. Let's do a quick refresh, see what that looks like. That makes a little bit more sense. Nothing's displayed, nothing, you don't really get started until you click next.